Thank you, Jimme. Good morning. What a joy to be with you. If you were like my grandma, and I called her Gigi, which we spelled G-I-G-I, which is now Gigi in our culture. But anyway, I called her Gigi, and this is what she would say: "Good Lord, it's morning." So whether you're here saying, "Good morning, Lord," or "Good Lord, it's morning," welcome. I wanted to just start off by giving you a quick little peek inside of my life so you'll know that I'm real just like you. I have nothing to prove, and so I want to share with you what last night was like at my home. I was, first of all, trying to decide what I was going to wear this morning. So my usual wardrobe is our Girls Night In International t-shirt and our jeans, modeled by Valerie here. We call that our uniform, yes. Or else I am dressing in a corporate suit going to speak with perhaps donors or executives. But when speaking for a women's event, I'm like, none of those really seem to work. So last night I'm standing in my closet facing a full-blown wardrobe crisis, trying to decide what to wear for this event this morning. Here's how it went. I try on this dress. Nope. Those pants are too tight on my tummy. No. This top, a little off the shoulder. Maybe not professional. And besides that, what's up with this Indiana weather? It is bipolar. Who knows how to dress? One morning it's 60 and sunny, and then the next it's 3 inches of snow and 10 below. So then the battle in my closet escalated. I started yanking clothes out of my closet like I was in an Olympic competition trial. Dresses flying everywhere, shoes, accessories spread out all over my bed, trying to figure out what should I wear. Then my bed looked like it had been through a Category 5 hurricane. Do I have a witness? Anybody relate? Yes. Then I do. So that is my husband, if you don't know. So he's part of this story. He doesn't even know this. Then I did what every smart woman does when she wants the truth. I ask a man. So I walk out into the family room. My husband is sitting in the recliner watching his favorite college basketball team and completely oblivious to my wardrobe crisis. So I did what we all do. I walked out and just kind of demurely modeled the outfit, completely oblivious. I turned slowly, one more time. So, how does this make me look? Does this make my butt look too big? The most dangerous question in marriage history. And at that point, any man knows that he is in complete survival mode at that moment. There is no good answer, right? So all it takes for us is that either that one look or one word. Well, and then we are in full out panic mode, stripped of our identity, wondering if we just should go buy a whole new wardrobe or just even forget coming here this morning, you know. And so honestly, for me, that one question, does this make my butt look big? Really, for me, it is, does this make my gut look big? Anybody else relate to that one? Yes. Oh, but honestly, the real question for all of us this morning is this. Is your butt too big? Not your B-U-T-T-S, not your butts, but your B-U-T, your butt. All those excuses we give why we are not significant enough, why we are not smart enough, why we are not confident enough, why we're not strong enough, why we're too old, or maybe too young, too insignificant to do what we are called to do. Some of our biggest limitations in life don't come from a lack of ability, but from one word. And you've already guessed what that is. What is it? But. Yes, one more time. But. Exactly. You know what? A butt is just fear dressed up in a convincing outfit. Fear is what limits you from becoming everything that God has created and purposed you to become. Because every woman who rises, which is you, into her calling, into her passion, has to deal with her butt. Okay, I need your help a little bit this morning. I've spent my career, or a part of it, as a professional musician and a music teacher. So, I need some volunteers, which would be every single one of you. You're voluntold, okay? And you are going to become the percussion section for our band. Deal? And all you have to have for your percussion section is this. Your hands. Can you do that once? Very good. Okay. Now, let's just see, since we're in music class here, can you count with me like this? And we're going to clap on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. You got it. All right, good. You passed that test. Next one, can you do this? Whenever I point to you, can you say, oh yeah? 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah.
Are you with that? 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Okay, are we ready to go, band?
Yeah.
Let's hit the road on our tour, okay? This is the butt tour. Before we do that, I want to say this to you. Every remarkable leader, every woman who rises in leadership faced a but. But she overcame it. She did not let that fear define her. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Rosa had a big old butt. Oh yeah. Let's do that one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Rosa had a big old butt. Oh yeah. And then you'll just stop. You'll go, oh yeah, and stop. Okay? One more time, and then we're keeping on rolling. You're awesome. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Rosa had a big old butt.
Oh yeah.
Culture told her she was not supposed to take a seat, that she was to stand. But Rosa Parks refused to stand and stayed in her seat. And because of that, one courageous decision on a bus changed a whole nation. 1, 2, 3. Amelia had a big old butt.
Oh yeah.
Amelia was told women don't fly planes, especially women don't fly a plane that crisscrosses the Atlantic. I mean, what if I fail? But because of Amelia's courage, she didn't just fly. She rewrote what is possible for all of us. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Layla had a big old butt. Oh, yeah. The Taliban demanded that girls were not allowed an education. I'm too young. I'm too significant. Insignificant. They told me to be silent, to keep my mouth shut. It was too dangerous to speak out and speak up. But she spoke up anyway because education was worth the risk. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Sarah had a big old butt. Oh, yeah. Sarah was 90 years old. God told Sarah that she was going to have a child. She was going to have a baby at almost 90 years old. Say what? Impossible, God. So Sarah did what probably all of us would do. She laughed and she scoffed at God in the face, at the whole idea. Sarah said, "But God, I am way too old. There's no way this woman can carry a baby." But God had promised her that she would be a mother of nations. And so guess what? 1, 2, 3. Sarah had a big old butt.
Oh, yeah.
But God proved her wrong because he had a bigger plan. And this morning I want you to know he has a bigger plan for your life. You just have to be willing to face your butts, which is every excuse we give for why we can't do, shouldn't do, wouldn't do what we're being called and positioned to do. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Jimme had a big old butt.
Oh, yeah.
As a public high school teacher, God ransacked my heart for my students that I loved. I spent years as a teacher, and I started noticing something in the girls' restroom where I hung out instead of the faculty lounge with my colleagues because the girls knew that I cared. The girls I loved were fighting invisible battles that nobody could see. They were drowning. So God started tapping me on the shoulder and said, "Jimme, I want you to get in there and fight those battles with them. I want you to throw a life rope of hope and provide a safe refuge. And you're going to call this girls' night in instead of girls' night out." So I told God no. I reminded him of every reason why I shouldn't do what he was asking me to do. I said, "You've made a big mistake, God. You have picked the wrong girl." I wrestled with God. I told him that I'm not a public speaker. There is no curriculum written for this generation that I feel called to. And besides that, my life is already overloaded. I wrestled with God until he won. Have you ever wrestled with God? I thought I was saying yes to something small and manageable because that was my comfort zone. 10 or 12 girls meeting in my basement that I could mentor. But God had bigger plans. 55 girls showed up that first night, and the rest is history because Girls' Night In International is now a global movement. And I thought I was just saying yes for 10 or 12 girls. Sometimes when you say yes to God's purpose, you realize God accepts you just as you are, but But he has very real plans to change you. And then God allows life to start throwing you tests of your faith, tests of your identity, everything that life can throw at you. My health began to decline and rapidly deteriorate. Didn't know what was going on, but I became a shell of my former self. Who was a high-capacity leader, driven to help others. And quickly, I started losing all of my neurological, cognitive, and physical functions. This active, deadly infection called Lyme disease, late-stage Lyme disease. The infection was already reaching my brain. So this deadly infection had entered into my brain, and you know your brain controls your whole body, yes? And so all of my organs started to shut down. I was in excruciating pain. I couldn't really speak, couldn't put a sentence together, couldn't talk, couldn't read, couldn't communicate. And then God sent a miracle my way after months and months and months of seeking a diagnosis. And I was told by this one physician, the only one who could diagnose me, that if I stood any chance of survival, I had to get to his clinic in Florida immediately. But he warned me, these treatments are like chemo on steroids, and you're going to get much worse before you get better. But if you don't come, it's going to be a matter of time. So there was a hard decision of leaving everyone and everything that I knew, and my kids, my family, and going to Florida. My husband took me because I couldn't go on my own. And for 4 years, back and forth, the first time 7 months, back and forth, and for treatments. And it was every bit as vicious and excruciating, the painful IV treatments and protocol, as he had told me it would be. But it was my only chance to survive. And so I reluctantly said yes, because I had no other choice, no other chance. So while I was fighting to change the lives of these teen girls and young women in my backyard and across the globe that I was so passionate to help, I began fighting the fiercest battle for my life against late-stage Lyme disease. But I learned something about resilience and building your courage muscle to face things that you never, ever thought you would have to face. I stared death in the eye. I stared death in the face. And if you've ever experienced that, which many of you in this room have with a diagnosis, you know that it changes you forever. So in those dark days, people all across the globe were praying for me. Some of you, the very ones that I'm looking at into the eyes of you this morning, you were praying over me, and you were praying that God's not done. And there were times I didn't know whether I wanted to believe that, but I know so many of the emotions that many of you may be feeling this morning. Depression, suicidal thoughts, because I didn't know if I could continue to live like that, being a shell of myself and unable to communicate or to read, to write, and the excruciating pain. The loss of my identity completely, with my family, with my church, with my organization, everything and everyone. I was completely stripped and sidelined. And in the middle of that, this phrase that I had said to people all through ministry life was, God's not done. But then that was turned inward to me, and I realized I had to pray and beg God to spare my life for His glory, for His story, and plead that He was not done with me. And so I want to encourage you this morning. God is not done. So keep fighting weary. Because the real truth is that every woman in this room is running a race. Some of you are sprinting. Some of you are rebuilding. Some of you are starting over. Some of you are stepping into something new. You're rising through education, leadership, and growth. And the temptation in a room like this is to do this, to start looking left and then looking to the right of you, to compare titles, to compare timelines, to compare revenue, to compare recognition, to compare competence, to compare significance. But I'm going to tell you straight up. Comparison is a thief of joy. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah.
Comparison is a thief of joy. And competition, when it turns inward, will destroy you.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to share real quickly as I'm closing 5 life lessons that I share in my book, Letters from Jimme, Life Lessons I Wish I Could Tell My Younger Self. The first one is this. Be yourself. Everybody else is already taken. And I'm sure you've heard that Oscar Wilde quote. Be yourself. Everybody else is already taken. And then the second one is, nobody beats you at being you. So fight the temptation. And here's what I'm going to ask you to do. 2 action steps. Maybe write this down. Don't compare. Don't compete. Run your own race. Can you say that with me? Don't compare. Don't compete. Run your own race. Exactly. Because what I know is that when you are running your race, it may get hard. Seasons may shift. And life may throw something at you that you did not expect. But God is not done. The race isn't over. Not with your leadership, not with your education, not with your influence, and not with your impact. So don't compare, don't compete, run your own race because God's not done. Say that with me. God's not done. Oh, yeah. All right. Thank you.
Stay there, Jimmelynn.
Okay. You know what? I can share this with me.
Hello.
Jan and I actually worked together. She was
I
on.
think your
yeah.
second year
Yeah,
of Girls
she-
Night In.
Yes, she was on the
And then
team.
God gave me a button and said, oh, I'm going to give you another kid you weren't expecting.
Yes,
So, yeah.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
So
Yes.
we can hug and share a mic.
Yes. So I'll talk loud too.
Okay.
Ladies, I understand it is almost 9 o'clock and we are a room full of professional women. But if you have the time, I encourage you to stay a little longer. There are a couple more things we want to do and a couple more things we want to talk about. But I want to do a little Q&A.
Okay.
Does anybody from the audience have any questions they would like to ask Jimmelynn? So any questions? Oh, I know you got it. Come on.
Can you kind of describe your girls' night in and like what goes on in your sessions? Like how are girls seeing the benefit of your service?
So your question is how do things happen at Girls Night In? So Girls Night In, first of all, is a safe refuge. We don't wear masks because this generation, if they spot BS, they're going to be out the door in a hot minute. So it is a family where I tell every single time, this is what I say from my heart to theirs: you are welcome, you are wanted, you are valued, and you are loved. And actually, I say that to each one of you because we all need to know that. But the elements of a Girls Night In event, we sometimes have a guest. Well, first of all, we provide this program free of charge for all these 18 years now, for every teen girl, middle school, high school, college age, and even young teen moms that has walked through our doors. And then the elements of the program, sometimes it will be, we feed them a meal. That was the other thing I was going to say, because for some of them, that may be the only good meal they get. Then we sometimes will have a guest speaker who shares her story on the topic, or I may have a guest panel, depending on what the topic is. And we'll have an interview with the guest panel. And then I share what I call the teaching that I call Letter from Jimme. Because as a teacher, I realized the girls don't want to be lectured. And if they even know what church is, they don't want to feel like they're going to church. So it's a casual atmosphere, but I share a letter. And I will tell stories on myself where I did not choose well, mistakes I made, how I wish there had been something like Girls Night In when I was growing up, so I wouldn't either self-sabotage myself or allow somebody to do something to me because I did not have a voice to speak up. So I want to give, and my team does too, but I did not have. And then we will break up into growth groups, and they have mentors. There's 2 mentors per group. Sometimes girls need an older woman who is like a mama figure to them, or sometimes they need a younger woman who is like a sister to them. So I recognize the power of that. So that's in short. And then we have that's for an actual event. We have lots of other things that we do to pour into, to mentor and empower and build strong leaders. We have a school of leadership and a life skills academy, because so many life skills. They've never lived in a home where they had to, first of all, have a phone hung on the wall. Remember those days? How about, did you have a party line? We did. We shared with 3 neighbors. My kids would like roll over in their graves if they hear me say that, like, what in the heck are you talking about? A party line? That doesn't sound like a party. Then furthermore, they've never had to learn the skill of answering a phone for a business. All they have is this. That's all they've been exposed to. So what they know how to do is text. But to actually look an adult in the eye and have a conversation terrifies them. Right?
It does.
Yeah. And it kind of terrifies us sometimes too. but we have to learn, we have to build our courage muscle and outgrow that.
So share with them how
Okay.
often they meet and
Okay.
where are the local
Sure.
chapters that
Okay.
young women can get involved
Okay.
with.
So we meet for what we call Girls Night In Indy, which is the home base, home teams, I say. That is in Brownsburg at our Girls Night International headquarters. And we meet once a month. And there is topic-driven, I don't know, okay, we just finished social media influence, and then, a powerful one, teen dating violence, self-protection, online grooming. That was impactful. The upcoming one is addiction, trapped. So we talk about sex and self-respect, not telling them how to have sex, okay? No, the opposite, teaching them to respect their body, protect your house, because nobody else will. Anyway, yes.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you for
You're
what
welcome.
doing for women.
Absolutely. Thank you for
Sharing your story.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you and Mike are often at the Super